Dear Cancer, there is something you don't know, but your soul has known it for a very long time. That two people are about to enter your life, not by chance, not by coincidence, but because the universe chose them. To awaken something sacred inside you that you had forgotten. In this video, I will show you exactly who these two people are, where they come from, and why their appearance marks a turning point in your soul's journey. You will not be the same, and you will understand why that is a miracle. If your heart is beating faster as you hear these words, write this down: I am ready to receive my divine destiny. Because that comment is not just a statement, it is a signal for the universe to begin moving on your behalf. Now, let me tell you about the first one, the one who carries a memory and a wound that only you can heal. Their name has already appeared in your dreams. And if you are Cancer, you need to remember that. Right now, some souls are born to make noise, some are born to break through and lead, and some souls are born to protect. Dear Cancer, you didn't come into this world to compete for attention. You came to be a sanctuary for all the things this world has forgot. A timely hug, a question asked in the middle of a storm, a gaze that makes someone believe they are still loved. Most people know Cancer as a symbol of emotion, and that's true. But it's not the full truth. In astrology, Cancer is a water sign, element of the subconscious, nurturing and remembrance. You don't just feel, you store. You don't just love, you remember. You don't just forgive, you still hold those who hurt you close. Because you know they were once hurt too. With the moon as your ruling planet, you don't live by logic, you live by sensing. When others ask, does it make sense? You ask, does it hurt? When others turn left for gain, you turn right because your heart simply can't turn away. In the birth chart, Cancer rules the 4th house, the root of memory, family, ancestry, and the feeling of belonging. This is why you often feel deeply attached to things that others find small or unimportant: an old handkerchief, a childhood song, an unsent letter, an unfinished conversation. You are not weak, you are deep. And in that depth is where others return when they feel lost. You may not be the strongest person, but you are the one who stays. When others walk away, you remain. When silence falls, you are the one who asks, are you okay? When someone falls, you don't just help them up, you carry their emotions as if they were your own. And the strange thing is, you don't do it to be noticed. You do it because if you didn't, your heart would ache. You were not born to be strong, you were born to love so deeply that your love becomes strength. Not everyone understands that. Not everyone is mature enough to realize. Emotion is not weakness. It is a gateway to God, to forgiveness, to rebirth. And you, Cancer, are the keeper of that gate. If you've ever loved someone with your whole heart, even when you received nothing in return, write this down below the video: I once loved someone with my whole soul. Because those who dare write that sentence are souls who have performed miracles simply by being present. In a world that glorifies logic and speed, Cancer is like a quiet reminder that emotion is a form of wisdom, that not everyone who feels deeply is weak. They simply see what others cannot. Emotion is the invisible map to soul levels that the human eye can never reach. When I was younger, I used to think that the one who stayed silent was the strongest. But later I realized, the one who dares to speak their pain with honesty is the truly courageous one. Cancer, the nurturer, the protector, the one who never forgets. The moon, emotion, cycles, the memory of the soul. The 4th house, origins, ancestors, wounded memories, home. Water element, flowing, absorbing, deeply empathic. Moon conjunct Saturn, the feeling of responsibility since childhood. Have you ever felt like you are changing so much, but no one seems to notice? You begin setting boundaries and get called selfish. You feel exhausted by relationships that only go one way. If you're going through that, you're not lost. You're returning to yourself. And in just a few minutes, I'll tell you about the one who holds the memory, the first person who is about to enter your life, and why their arrival is not a second chance, but a chance to love yourself in a way you never dared before. As the world grows colder, you, dear Cancer, are a reminder that love still exists. Forgiveness is still a choice. Healing is still a journey worth walking, even if no one applauds. You don't need to prove yourself worthy. You don't need to please anyone. You just need to be you, and the world will begin to shift. If any part of these words has touched your heart, leave a comment. It doesn't have to be long. Just write, I am ready to live truthfully with my emotions. That single act is a signal to summon the right energies to protect your soul on this next journey. Dear Cancer, now you understand why you've always been too sensitive. because your heart doesn't beat just for you. It beats for the people you love, even for souls who have forgotten what love means. But something is about to happen that will change you forever. Someone from the past, carrying a memory and a truth you've never had the courage to face. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night, your heart racing, not from a nightmare, but from the feeling that someone just walked out of your dream and left a silent message on your pillow? Maybe you can't remember their face, just a gaze, a strange feeling deeply familiar, like you've known them before but can't recall their name. Dear Cancer, they are not imaginary, they are real, and they are about to enter your life softly, quietly, like a breeze passing your cheek, unseen but certain. The first person won't come with words, they come with the emotion they left behind. Someone you thought was closed and done. But every time someone says their name, your heart still skips a beat. They will return not to rekindle love, but to help you close a door. A door you never dared to close because you feared losing a piece of something that was once beautiful. They carry the energy of the 12th house, the house of the subconscious, the past, the unspoken. They are the image buried in your soul's memory, not to bring you back, but to help you move forward with a lighter heart. Imagine walking through an old house, and there's a door, always slightly ajar in the hallway. You've wanted to open it so many times, but always turned away. You're afraid of breaking down when you see what's inside. But this person will come, not to open the door for you, but to stand beside you and say, "When you're ready, I'll be here." You thought they came to hurt you again, but no, they came so you could finally see your own love more clearly. They once hurt you, but they also once made you believe in something called unconditional love. Maybe back then they weren't mature enough to hold on to you, but today they're not returning as a lover, they are returning as a mirror to help you realize how much you've grown since the last time you saw them. If you've ever seen someone in a dream and then they actually came back into your life, write this below the video. I was warned by the universe before it even happened. Because those who dare to trust the signs are souls who have begun to listen to themselves. The first person carries the energy of the 12th house, the house of the hidden, of emotional karma and of unfinished cycles. When the 12th house is activated in Cancer's journey, people from the past often return not to begin again, but to bring closure. Closure not through pain, but through awareness, the awareness that I loved with all I had, and now I forgive not for them, but for myself. If the first person makes you look back, the second will make you look up. They embody the energy of the 9th house, the house of spiritual expansion, destiny, and soul guides. You never expected to meet them. You weren't looking, you weren't hoping, but when they arrive, you'll know. No introduction needed, no explanation, because their gaze will help you remember a part of yourself you had forgotten. The part you hid, thinking it was too naive, too dreamy, too different. They are the soft light reflected on the lake at dawn. You can't quite see it, but you know if you step closer, you'll see yourself in a brighter form, a more peaceful self, a more awakened soul. Maybe they won't say much, but they will listen with a silence that understands everything. Maybe they won't touch you, but just by being near, you will feel safe. They arrive exactly when you no longer trust anyone. And because you don't, their presence touches deeper. No pressure, no demands, just an invitation. If you're willing, I'll walk with you. Sometimes, the person we need is not the perfect one, but the one who helps us remember our own light. Dear Cancer, you've lived too long as the savior. But this time, let someone else help save you. If you've ever met someone who made you feel like you just woke up from a long forgotten dream, write this down. I met that person and they reminded me who I am. Two people, two frequencies, one from the past to close, one from the future to open. Neither comes to make you better, they come to help you become more true. And the moment you choose to open your heart, dear Cancer, a new energy will rise within you, a soul gift that's been asleep far too long. You've seen the old door, you've seen the new light. But what you haven't seen is that you will stand at that crossroads and have to choose to close or to open, to stay or to step forward, to hold on to someone or to hold on to yourself. There are moments in life when it's not about what you say, but in the silence, your heart knows you can no longer walk the same way you did before. Dear Cancer, you've come a long way, not by your feet, but by your heart. You've carried so much, unhealed memories, unfinished glances, promises left hanging, and shadows you thought you had forgotten. But now you're standing at a crossroads, and this time no one can choose for you. This isn't just a metaphor, It's the real feeling of your soul right now. One current pulls you back in memory, another sweeps you toward the future, and you cannot walk in both. The first current is what you once had, sweet but no longer alive, familiar but no longer nourishing you. It's made of beautiful memories, of genuine emotions. But it's time to face the truth. Not everything beautiful is meant to be kept. The second current is still undefined. It carries uncertainty, but also holds the possibility for you to truly live in the present. It's an invitation to let go of what once hurt you and to reach for what you once believed you didn't deserve. The universe is never silent. It always speaks, but only those who are quiet enough can hear. And if you're a Cancer, the sky is shifting in a very sacred way right now. The moon, your ruling planet, is moving into Scorpio, and everything hidden in your emotions will begin to surface. No more vagueness, no more denial, no more pretending to be okay. This is the season where the truth within you will rise on its own. What you feel is real. What you've been suppressing can no longer be held in. What no longer fits will fall away. No matter how hard you try to hold on, the moon in Scorpio will teach you. Healing is not about clinging, it's about surrendering. Jupiter, the planet of expansion, faith, and miracles, is now in Pisces. And this is not a coincidence. Pisces is the final sign of the zodiac, the place where every soul returns to learn, the lesson of letting go and trusting. Together, these energies create a rare opening for you now. Two soul connections will appear, one for healing, one for awakening. But you can only step into the new if you're willing to release the old. Dear Cancer, you have a rare gift: to turn emotions into a sacred temple. You remember every glance, every gesture, every subtle vibration of love. But this time, the lesson isn't about holding on. It's about asking, do you love yourself enough to gently set the past down and walk forward with empty hands, ready to receive what you truly deserve? You cannot keep holding onto a memory and hope it will become your future. Feelings are meant to be lived, not frozen. And your heart, it deserves to beat for something new, not keep recreating what already ended. If you feel like you're standing at a crossroads of emotion, write this below the video. I'm ready to release the memory and receive what I never dared to dream. Not just to declare it, but to send a signal to your soul's higher realm, to let the universe know you are ready for something new, something worthy. Cancer, you were never wrong for loving, even if that love wasn't returned. Even if it ended, even if it left a scar. You weren't wrong, you were simply real. And now, that truth is bringing you to a moment where there is no turning back anymore. Cancer, not every choice is between good and bad. Sometimes it's between what's familiar and what you deserve. That is a deep form of maturity. When you choose uncertainty over familiar pain, when you stop asking, do they still think of me? And begin asking, what does my soul need to feel free? You've reached the point every awakened Cancer must pass through. The moment when you lay your heart down, not for it to die, but so it may be reborn. But you don't have to do it alone, because in the next part, you'll see, a soul is standing at the edge of light, waiting for you to step forward. The mirror and the message from heaven, where you'll realize your choice was never random. Some things need no words to be understood. Some people may no longer be present, but they're still watching over you every step. Dear Cancer, your soul for a long time has held a sacred connection with those who have passed. It's not fear, it's love, a thread of light, thin but never broken, and you know it, not with logic, but through intuition, through the moments when you felt a hand on your shoulder in an empty room. Sometimes on the nights you felt weakest, you dreamt of that old kitchen. No one was there until suddenly someone appeared. They said nothing, just looked at you with eyes that made you cry, not out of pain, but because you felt understood. Completely, unconditionally, without judgment, only love, silent and eternal. In your dream, you returned to the old kitchen. Someone stood there saying nothing, but their eyes made you cry. That person may have been your father who never got to say goodbye, or your grandmother who once held you so tightly when you cried, or perhaps an ancestor who watched you grow through your deepest wounds. Right now, the moon, your ruling planet, is conjunct with Saturn. This is a sacred moment. Your soul is becoming more solemn and more awake than ever. Saturn brings lessons, maturity, and responsibility. The moon brings emotion, memory, and soul. When they meet, the universe does not teach you to escape pain, but to face it with reverence and gratitude. You are no longer the child who needs protection. You are becoming the one your ancestors once prayed for. May someone come who ends this cycle of suffering. And that someone is you. In astrology, when the 8th house is activated, the soul enters a cycle of death and rebirth. Not physical death, but the death of old versions of self, of connections that have expired, of burdens that were never yours, of memories you kept, thinking if you let them go, you'd lose part of who you are. But here's the truth, letting go is how you become whole again. That father, that grandmother, they don't need to return to say they loved you. They always did. Only now they love not through hands or words or hugs. They love through the quiet light that surrounds you. They send messages through repeating numbers, through a song you hear out of nowhere, through warmth that brushes your skin in the cold of night. Feelings need no words, and souls can speak with just a glance. You don't need to hear them say, I love you. You only need to stand in that stillness, and you will know they never truly left. If you've ever dreamt of someone who has passed, if you've ever felt them near, at the exact moment you needed them most, write this below the video. I have received the message from heaven. It's not just a sentence, it's a confirmation, a sacred acknowledgement of all the signs you once feared were only in your mind. You did not come here only to live for yourself. You came to heal a part of your family's history. You came to write the next chapter, not in blood and tears, but in light and new choices. Cancer, you are not alone. Your soul has never been alone. Every generation before you still prays for you, still watches over you, and is about to send you a sacred sign within the next few days. Open your heart. Let it be quiet long enough to hear that message. Now you've seen their face in your dream. You've understood. Love never disappears, it only changes form. But the rest, no one else can do for you. You must choose to live by the light you've just seen, or keep hiding from what your soul has always known. Let me tell you the final thing they wanted you to hear. You are not only loved, you were chosen to be the light for your entire bloodline. Dear Cancer, after all the wounds you've carried, the memories, the choices, the forgiveness, there is still one thing waiting to awaken. A part of you once pure light, once pure hope. A dream so sacred, you never dared to speak it out loud. And then, the years passed. You folded it away, buried it deep, told yourself you'd grown up, that maybe it wasn't realistic. But today I'm here to tell you, you were wrong. In astrology, the 5th house represents creativity, true joy, divine gifts, and all that makes you feel fully, authentically alive. When the 5th house is activated, it means your soul is ready to express its sacred essence to the world. Not to be seen, not to be applauded, but simply because you cannot not express what you were born to give. Many people think they need to leave everything, travel far and wide to find themselves. But Cancer is different. Your mission is not on the mountaintop, not under the spotlight, not in the applause. It's in the kitchen you once dreamed of reopening. It's in the song you wrote as a child but never sang aloud. It's in the way you once made someone smile and felt your heart fall silent in joy. Your mission is hidden inside the truest feeling you've ever had. Cancer doesn't need to go far to find their purpose. Sometimes you only need the courage to believe. Your feelings are sacred enough to build a life upon. Do you remember the second person? The one with eyes that made you see yourself again? The one who didn't say much, but whose presence made you want to try again, to finish something you once abandoned. They are a mirror, but not just for you to see. They're here so you can remember. To remember that you once had a gift no one taught you, that you once had a dream no one imposed on you, and you put it away not because you weren't good enough, but because you thought you were no longer allowed to dream like that. They came to tell you without words, that dream is still here, and you can begin again. It is something you must remember. Maybe you once painted a dream no one understood, or wrote poems for yourself and hid them for fear of seeming too soft, or longed to bring light to places no one believed needed it. You don't need to prove anything. Soul gifts do not come to compete, they come to restore. And if, as you read these words, you remember a dream you once had, but let go of because of life or others or fear, write this: I am ready to call back my dream. Because the moment you write that, your soul will understand. The time has come. What you once gave up didn't leave you. It only stepped back, waiting for you to believe again you are worthy of it. If you think this journey is over, let me tell you it's not. This is only the beginning. You've cleansed your wounds. You've looked into your heart through heaven's mirror. And now your soul is ready to create something sacred. You think this is the end? No, it's only the first step, because your soul gift is about to speak. If you are still here, still listening, still feeling, it means your soul has walked through an invisible gate. Not everyone completes this journey. Only those brave enough to face themselves arrive at the place where truth begins to heal. And I want to say thank you from my heart to yours. Thank you for staying. Thank you for feeling. Thank you for daring to believe that your feelings are sacred and deserve to be heard. If you've made it here, it means your soul is ready. Ready for a new beginning, where you no longer love in order to sacrifice, but love in order to grow. Where you no longer live to fight the past, but live to plant the future. And if something within you is rising up now, wishing to be expressed, longing to speak the sacred voice of your soul, I invite you to do this right now. Share this video. Send it to someone you love, or send it to your past self, the one who once didn't believe they deserved to be healed. And if you're truly ready to open a new chapter, write this beneath the video. I am ready to open the door to my soul. That sentence is not just a declaration. It is an invitation, a miracle, a signal to the universe that I have awakened. And if you want to know what soul gift is still sleeping inside you, do not leave. The next video will reveal what your soul has known for so long but never dared to admit. And that will be the moment you not only awaken, but ignite the most sacred thing you ever carried into this lifetime. I am the light. I have returned.